नमस्कार प्यारे बच्चों, माई सेल्फ DN Tiwari, PGT Economics, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Kanpur, Bihar. Dear students, today we are going to teach you a very interesting as well as important chapter, which is an integral part of Indian economic development. Poverty, unemployment, and disparities. These are the three basic challenges which we are facing since our independence. Today, I'll start with the problem of unemployment, then come on poverty, and at last, I will be dealing with what it called regional disparities, distribution of resources. How is it going to create inequality? Actually, it is said by Ragnar Nakshe, poverty is something which you can see, which you can understand, but it's very difficult, just like giraffe, to define. Similarly, different types of unemployments are also found in India. India consists of highly developed sector in metropolitan cities. On the other hand, we need to develop our rural belt also. So all these things are going to be studied in this lecture. I'm confident that you are going to be benefited out of it. So here I would like to share some of my important slides. To start with slideshow, actually, what do we find? Problem of unemployment, poverty, and inequality. More or less, these are the three basic challenges which are to be dealt in today's lecture. When we talk about unemployment, we find after completing this lesson, you will be able to explain the meaning, types, and important measures of unemployment. You will be able to identify the causes of unemployment. What are the causes responsible for unemployment? What are the important features of unemployment? Types of unemployment you will be able to understand after completing this chapter. What policy government has taken to elevate the problem of unemployment and poverty and to generate employment. This is going to be studied in this chapter in detail. Poverty, its types, causes, remedies. Again, very important to be dealt with in this particular chapter. Evaluate the extent and causes of regional disparity in India. I told you that this is going to be very, very beneficial for everyone. So, there are three problems: unemployment, poverty, and regional inequality. So first of all, I would like to add here all economic reforms, changes in industrial policy resolutions, etc. are made to create unemployment, to create or to face the problem of unemployment. All government bodies are also required to initiate long-term measures for poverty alleviation program. Generation of employment opportunities and inequalities in income distribution are the two key factors that are of utmost important to deal with the dual problem of unemployment and poverty. More or less, you will find a direct relationship between unemployment and poverty also. So these are the things to be studied in detail. Beside this, so first of all, we are going to start with the measurement and magnitude of unemployment in India. You can see long queues of unemployed people in this picture. And again, in the lower part of the picture, you can see a person is sleeping. Both are unemployed. Here, they are able to work and they are willing to work and they are accepting the present wage rate. Still, they are unemployed. That's why they are in the queue to get employment. But what about this paper? This person, he is sleeping and able to work, but is not ready to work. So before entering into this voluntary and non-voluntary unemployment, I would like to explain the meaning of labor force. What is labor force? Population can be divided into two basic categories. First one is labor force and second one is non-labor force. Labor force includes working, that means engaged in the economic activity, plus not working but seeking or available for work at current wage rate. So labor force means what? Those who are employed. First, those who are not employed, but they are wishing, they know they are ready to work at the prevailing wage rate. Still, they are unable to get job. Is the part of labor force. Then coming on the non-labor force, who are not working and are neither seeking nor available for work. First of all, when you go into depth in this definition, you'll find these people are not working. First of all, not working. And secondly, they are neither seeking. First of all, they are not working and they are not willing to work. So this second type of persons are known as non-voluntary unemployed. So unemployment can be defined as a state of worklessness for a person who is fit and willing to work at the current wage rate. Still they are unable to get job. It's a condition of involuntary unemployment. I told you it is condition of involuntary unemployment. These people are ready to work. They are standing in the queue. They are filling so many forms. They are applying for so many vacancies. That shows their interest to work, their ability to work, and they are willing to. They are ready to accept the prevailing wage rate. Still, they are unemployed. So when we enter into the involuntary type of unemployed persons, we find involuntary. They are ready to work and they are unable to get job. So involuntary unemployment or non-voluntary unemployment are the real unemployment people, which can further be divided into so many categories. Some of the importance are cyclical unemployment, then seasonal unemployment, structural unemployment, and frictional unemployment, natural rate of unemployment, disguised unemployment, underemployment. So there are so many types of unemployment. Some of them we are going to study one by one. When we talk about cyclical unemployment, it comes and goes along with the trade cycle. You can see the trade cycle. First of all, expansion, stage of expansion, then peak, then recession, then depression, then recovery, then expansion. So these are the trade cycles. So the persons who are unemployed because of these trade cycles are known as cyclical unemployment. Cyclical unemployment is also considered as demand deficit unemployment that occurs when economy is in need of the workforce. When there is economy-wide decline in aggregate demand for goods and services, employment declines and unemployment correspondingly increases. Actually, when we come into the Keynesian analysis, we find the situation when AS becomes more than AD. In the situation of excess demand, excess supply, we find there is a fast fall in the price, which will decrease the profit margin, and profit margin leads to decrease in employment. Ultimately, decrease in employment leads to decrease in income, and decrease in income means leads to decrease in aggregate demand. So this is called, here people are unemployed because of excess demand. Excess demand because the economy is passing through the stage of depression or recession. Cyclical unemployment mainly occurs during recession or depression period, as I just told you, moves with the trade cycle. For instance, during the recent global slowdown in late 2008, many workers around the globe lost their job. So trade cycles are responsible for this type of unemployment. Secondly comes मौसमी बेरोजगारी or seasonal unemployment. This type of unemployment occurs in a particular time of years or season, and thus is known as seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is most common in industries like agriculture, tourism, hotel, catering, etc. Dear students, when there is a change in season, naturally you can see demand for certain workers falls at certain time. Tourism industry, in the farming, you can see the season. People are employed when there is a season of plowing or cutting, cropping. Otherwise, they become unemployed. Coming on the next point, structural unemployment. Dear students, this type of unemployment is most common in developing nations, where we can find there is mismatch in the infrastructure. There is a mismatch in the infrastructure available, and of course the manpower. We are having more manpower but less infrastructure where we can employ these people. So unemployment, which is because of the mismatch of infrastructure and manpower, is known as structural unemployment. Structural unemployment is basically found in developing countries like India, where population is increasing at alarming rate, but infrastructure is not increasing to cope up this population. Dear students, although jobs were available, there was a demand for a new kind of skill and qualification. So persons with old skills did not get employment in the changed economic design and remain unemployed. It also happens when we find there is a fast change in technology. When it was a matter of switching over from manual typewriters to the computers, so many people become unemployed because there was a gap between infrastructure and the existing manpower. Frictional unemployment. You can see this is old job and this person is trying to switch over to the new job. Frictional unemployment occurs when a person is out of one job and is searching for another job for different reasons such as better job, he may be fired out, or having voluntarily quit his current job. It is generally requires some time before a person can get the next job. Actually, frictional unemployment is a problem which is found in developed nations where you can leave your present job for the betterment of your career, for the better job. It may be because of you are getting upskilling. There may be personal reasons. There may be unemployment benefit. There may be skill matching, and there may be relocation. All these are responsible for frictional unemployment. Natural rate of unemployment. The sum total of frictional and structural unemployment is referred to the natural rate of unemployment. When we sum up the frictional and structural unemployment, we get natural rate of unemployment. Dear students, there should be a clearly noted point over here that unemployment rate is different from natural rate of unemployment. Unemployment rate is nothing but the number of persons employed and the entire labor force in 200. When we talk about number of persons unemployed means people looking for the work and people working plus people looking for the work both. So this is the rate of unemployment and this is the rate of natural rate of unemployment. There should be a clear difference between these two. In India, we are more bothered about disguised unemployment. Actually, this type of unemployment exists but cannot be seen. That's why it is known as disguised unemployment. So unemployment which is not visible is said to be disguised unemployment. It occurs when person doesn't contribute anything to the output even when he seems to be working visibly. This happens amongst family labor, especially in agriculture, who are engaged on the land but are not contributing to the given level of output. In this case, marginal productivity is zero. You can see these four persons are plowing their field by the same rules, pair of rules. This job can be done by a single person, which is being done here by four. It seems that all the four persons are employed, but actually they are not. Only one is employed. Marginal productivity of remaining are zero. Similarly, here you can see the rice paddy. So many people are working. But if we withdraw a number of them and employ them somewhere else, there won't be any fall in the production of this field. It shows that the persons who are being taken away from the field, they are actually contributing nothing. So let us see how to measure the unemployment. Unemployment is, I just told you, it is nothing but unemployed worker upon total labor force into 100. This unemployment worker means those who are able and they are willing to work at the existing rate. And here, those who are working plus those who are willing to work but they are unable to get becomes total labor force. Measurement of unemployment is a difficult task, there is no doubt. NSSO does it on the basis of a year, a week, or each day of a week. NSSA provides 4 different measures of estimating unemployment in India. When a person is engaged in the economic activity, but that fails to provide him fully in accordance to his efforts, is known as underemployment. Underemployment is another type of unemployment. When a doctor is bound to work as a chemist, when a postgraduate person is bound to work as a lab attendant or LDC. These people are considered as underemployed. Now you can see so many people are standing in the line. They seems to be highly educated, but they are applying for Safai Karmcharis. It shows what? They are going to be underemployed. Unemployment rate, once again, number of people unemployed over labor force into 100. I told you it's a very simple phenomena. This is also known as usual principal status unemployment. So usual principal status of unemployment is basically associated with 1 year analysis. Current weekly status of unemployment is applicable when the person is unemployed in a day of a week. And current day status of unemployment, if you are unemployed for 1 hour, 1 working hour in a day, then you can say CWSU. The usual status unemployment rate, usual US UR, is a person and indicates chronic unemployment, because all those who are found usually unemployed in the reference year are counted as unemployed. इसके अंदर बच्चों साल में कम से कम 3 महीने जिसने काम किया है उसको रखा जाता है. This measure is more appropriate to those in search of regular employment. For example, educated people and skilled persons who may not accept casual work. This is also referred as open unemployment. If you go into the case of unemployment rate, we find in 2011-12, the rate of unemployment in male was 2.9, in female it was 6.9. And as far as total is concerned, it was 3.8. Similarly, this ratio became more in 2011, 12, 13. From 2.9 to 4% people remained unemployed. Out of them, 7.2% were male, remaining were female. So, similarly, in 2013-14, the rate of unemployment in male was 4.1, in female it was 7.7, and it is because of the additional labor force among the female along with the time. What we found when we got our independence, the literacy rate among female was very less. This literacy rate increased remarkably, and when female got educated, they started for working out. They also joined the labor force. So in this case, you can see our economy was unable to cope up with this sudden increase in the labor force. When we talk about usual principal and subsidiary status unemployment, UPSS, Here person is considered unemployed if besides UPS, those available but unable to find work on a subsidiary basis during a year. साल में जिसने कम से कम 30 दिन काम किया है उसको हम यूजुअल प्रिंसिपल एंड सब्सिडी स्टेटस अनएम्प्लॉयड कहते हैं. You can just go through it also. Usual principal status. In the case of usual principal status, a person is considered to be in the labor force if he or she had been working or looking for work for at least 6 months during preceding 365 days. Those working for majority of days in labor force are treated as employed and rest are treated as unemployed. Once again, I would like to add here, out of last year's 365 days, you must be searching for work at least for 6 months. In this case, you can see these people are considered as UPS. When we talk about UPSS, even those unemployed or out of labor force as per UPS definition but had worked at least for 30 days are treated as subsidiary status workers and hence included under their rules. Dear students, actually who are considered as UPS? Once again, I would like to add here, if last year that person was able to work for 6 months, 6 months out of 12 months, he is considered as UPS. And if he was able to work for 30 days out of 365 days, he will be considered as UPSS. I hope this concept is clear. When we talk about current weekly status unemployment, current CWS, this refers to the number of persons who did not find even an hour of work during the survey week. When survey was being conducted for a week, he was not able to work even for an hour. He is considered as CWS status unemployed. Current daily status unemployment, CDS. This refers to the number of persons who did not find work on a day or on some day during the survey week. So here we talk about number of persons who did not find even an hour of work. Here we find a day of work. This is the basic difference between these two. Rates of unemployment differ based on different concepts. The UPS and UPSS measures reflects only long-term unemployment spells. The CWS measures captures shorter unemployment spells but ignores unemployment for less than a week. When we talk about CDS measures, it is the most inclusive, capturing both open as well as partial unemployment. The unemployment rate based on different measures is given under following table. When we talk about unemployment rate, UPSS among the male, among females, you can see here in 1972 UPSS was 1.2% in rural area, and CWS, when we talk about CWS, it was 3% among males in rural areas. When we talk about females, you can see a remarkable change from 0.5 to 3.8. Remarkable rise has been taken place. Even in CWS, you can see the rate of unemployment has gone up. When we talk about urban people, rate of unemployment again here is more. So you can see, you pick up any criteria, whether it's rural or urban, unemployment is increasing day by day. Why is it so? It's a big question on our policy. What are the important components included in this table? First of all, there is decline in unemployment rate since 2004 and 5. If we go here, there is decline in unemployment rate from 2004 and 5. How can you say? You can see 1.2, then 1.4, which is going on, and when the unemployment rate has gone up from 1.02 to 5.8. Secondly, UPSS has remained more or less same between 2004 to 2011-12, about 2%. CWS declined from 4.4% in 2004-5 to 3.6 in 2009-10. Almost remained same 3.7 in 2011-12. CDS also decreased continuously from 8.2% in 2004-5 to 6.6%. So, remarkable fall in the unemployment rate was found this between the period taken. Now here comes what are the causes responsible for unemployment in India. I have given you some slides, slow down, fall in GDP, then so many reasons are there. Some of them we are going to study one by one. First of all, slow economic growth rate. During the planning period, the trend rates of growth was considerably lower than that of the targeted rate.